Hi everyone and welcome. Practicing yoga in general does help to improve your posture, but these poses specifically will lengthen your spine, unround your shoulders, and create some strength in your core, which will support better posture. Today you will need a strap or something that resembles a strap, so a belt, a strong scarf, or even a small towel would work as well. So when you're ready, I will meet you on the mat. We'll begin today standing on the mat. So when you're there, step your feet nice and wide apart, however wide is comfortable for you. Check in on your feet and make sure that they're both parallel to each other. You can bring your hands up onto your hips and then take a big breath in to lengthen your spine and look up towards the ceiling. Just breathing normally here for a few seconds, opening up your chest and your neck. Bring your head back to neutral now, looking back out in front. And we'll take it into a wide-legged forward bend. So we're hinging at the hips, keeping the back as long and as straight as you can. Start to come down, releasing your hands towards the mat. And if they don't make it, take as much of a bend into your knees as you need. Walk your hands back to be in line with your feet. Release your head and relax your shoulders away from your ears. Breathe as deeply as you can here. We'll stay here for about a minute in total. We'll come out of the pose the same way that we came in. So bring your hands back up onto your hips. Keep your back long and straight and slowly start to make your way back up to standing. You can step your feet back in together, and from here we'll take it down onto the mat and come into tabletop pose. Once you're in tabletop pose, spread your fingers nice and wide apart. Have your wrists directly below your shoulders and your knees directly below your hips. We'll do a few rounds of cat-cow here. So as you inhale, start to point your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Drop your belly towards the mat. Allow your chest to come slightly forward in between your arms and then look up. As you exhale, tailbone points down. Round your spine, bring your chin in towards your chest and drop your head down. We'll continue flowing through the two poses. Inhaling, arching your back, traveling up towards cow pose, and then exhale takes it down into cat. We'll do one more of each. And when you're ready, make your way back into a neutral spine. Walk your hands slightly out in front, keeping the fingers spread. Curl your toes onto the mat and then drag your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Feet are about hip distance apart here. Keep as much of a bend in your knees as you need to. Point the tailbone towards the ceiling and release your head towards the mat. And this will really help to lengthen your spine. And the more you can bring your ears in between your biceps, the more you'll be able to open up your shoulders and chest. And connect to your breath again, breathing deeply. We're here for about 60 seconds. Take one more deep breath in, and this time as you exhale, start to glide forward until your shoulders are directly above your wrists into high plank. So you can always modify if you need to just by taking your knees down to the mat. Otherwise, we'll hold a high plank for a few seconds, helping to strengthen those core muscles. Keep breathing. And remember that you're always stronger than you think you are. One more big breath in. And from here, we'll make our way to lie on the front of the body. So you can either come straight down or bring your knees to the mat and then lower everything down. We'll take a second here just to let everything reset. Find your breath again. Relax your muscles. We'll move into Cobra pose now. So bring your feet together and press the top of your feet firmly into the mat. So that area of the foot where your shoelaces would be. Bring your palms next to your chest and then look at the mat in front of you. Press your feet down and take a breath in to peel your hands and chest up off the mat. Noticing here that each time you breathe in, you're able to lift up a little bit higher and try to maintain that height through your exhalation. Strengthening the muscles of the back here. We won't stay here for too long, just a few more breaths. One more big breath in, maybe lifting a little bit higher than you think you can. And then as you exhale, slowly release everything back down and come into crocodile pose here. So bring your big toes together, let your heels flop out towards the edges of the mat, and then make a pillow with your hands. So just stacking the hands on top of each other. Then you can relax your cheek or your forehead down onto your hands. Letting the body digest the pose that we just did here. Finding your breath again. This time we'll come into a bound locust pose. So spread your feet to about hip distance apart, maybe wider, and then reach your arms back behind your back and interlock your fingers if available. Keep your head and your neck neutral by looking at the mat in front of you. With a breath in, peel your chest up off the ground and reach your hands back towards your feet. You can gaze straight out in front of you here. And the same principles apply. Each time you inhale, You might be able to lift up a little bit higher and help draw your shoulders away from your ears. One more big breath in. With control, exhaling. This time plant your palms next to your chest and prepare to lift yourself up and drag your hips back towards your heels. Come into extended child's pose. You might bring your knees together here and then allow your forehead to come and rest towards the mat. If it doesn't connect to the mat, just make that pillow again with your hands to bridge the gap. Spending a moment here, allowing the spine to round again after back bending it. Use your next breath in to lift yourself back up. From here, we'll come into a seat on the mat. So sit whatever way is most comfortable for you. We'll stay here for a few minutes. If it helps to sit up on a cushion, feel free to go grab one. So here's where you'll need your strap. We'll do what's called cow face arms, and it's the ultimate pose to help correct your posture. So have your strap just sitting over your shoulder. And from here, take your left arm out in front of you. Really press it away from your body and then bring it back as far as it goes. Once you're there, turn your thumb to face down, bend your elbow and bring that hand as close to your spine as you can take it. This is where you can grab the strap with that left hand. Right hand reaches up towards the ceiling, bend at the elbow again, and then find another part of the strap. So you might be able to even clasp your fingers together here. That is the goal. If so, you don't need the strap, but otherwise, choose your own adventure here and find your most comfortable stretch by either walking your hands closer together to make it more intense or further away to make it less intense. We'll stay here for a minute, so make sure it's something that's sustainable for you. From here, lengthen your spine. Reach that top elbow towards the ceiling and keep your neck nice and long and neutral. When you're comfortable, close your eyes and we'll settle into the pose here by tuning back into the breath. Deep belly breaths in, long breaths out. You can start to release your grip on the strap now. Take your hands back out in front, and it might feel nice to circle your shoulders here, shake them off a little bit. We'll take that to the opposite side now. So this time your right arm is coming out in front. Press it away from you. Take it as far back as it goes. Turn the thumb down, bend at your elbow to find your strap. Left arm reaches up, bending the elbow again to find another part of the strap. So again, choosing how intense you want this side to be. You might notice that both sides feel a bit different, and that's normal. Lengthening your spine, pointing your top elbow towards the ceiling and finding a long, neutral neck. When you're ready, close your eyes. We'll tap into the breath again. Slowly starting to come out of the pose, removing your grip, circling off the shoulders. So we're done with the strap for now. You can put it away. And cow face pose is a really good pose that you can incorporate into your daily routine, especially if you're working at a desk. You can always just take a minute or two to open up the shoulders again with cow face pose. From here, take your legs out long in front of you. Make sure your hips are in the center of the mat and come on down to lie on your back. Take a moment just to settle in. Allow the ground to realign your spine. Relax your muscles for a moment and take a deep breath in and out. Making our way into fish pose now. Bring your feet together and point your toes away from your body. Have your palms facing down and then bring your hands in underneath your hips. On an inhalation, pick your head up to look at your feet and then walk your elbows as close to each other as you can get them. And take a little bit of time to wiggle around here and really walk them together. Another breath in opens up your chest. Gently slide back and bring the crown of your head towards the mat. It's okay if the head doesn't connect to the mat. If it's uncomfortable, you can always take a cushion to bridge the gap here. We won't stay here for too long in fish pose. Just taking a few deep breaths, taking advantage of the fact that your chest is really open here. Really fill up your lungs. To come back out of the pose now, gently start to lift your head, look towards your feet again, and then shift your weight over to the side to remove your hands and elbows. Come on back down to lie in Shavasana pose for a moment. Noticing the effects of fish pose on your body. Take a full body stretch here. So step your feet back in beside each other, point your toes away from you, and extend your arms up past your head. Use a deep breath in to lengthen your body and stretch every single muscle, creating as much space between your fingers and your toes as you can. And on an exhale, release everything. We'll set ourselves up for bridge pose here. So bend your knees to have the soles of your feet on the mat and keep your feet about hip distance apart. Extend your arms down alongside your body and try to use your fingers to tickle the back of your heels here. And it's okay if they don't connect. Press the soles of your feet into the mat and use that power to lift your hips towards the ceiling. Keeping them lifted as high as you can, staying here for a few breaths, each inhalation really expanding your belly here. And you can keep your hands as they are, or you might interlock your fingers in behind your back and walk your shoulder blades towards each other, and that will give you more of a shoulder stretch. And try to lengthen your tailbone towards your feet here. Take one more big breath in, and then with control as you exhale, start to release your vertebrae one at a time back down to the mat. Once your hips have landed, bring your knees in towards your chest, wrap your arms around your legs, and if it's comfortable for you, bring your nose up towards your knees. Giving yourself a big hug here, making a tight ball with the body, rounding the spine again. One more big breath in. And as you exhale, taking everything back down to the mat. Have your legs out long. Allow your arms to take up space beside you. Maybe curl your shoulder blades in underneath your back to open up your chest. Take a breath. Take many breaths. And just let your body soak up all the benefits of the poses that we've done. Feeling the support of the ground beneath you, allow your muscles to relax. We'll end our practice here, and you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you need to. Thank you for practicing with me. For now, namaste, and thank you.